today. And ניצן הורוביץ, I think he's the second elected gay member of the Knesset. I'm sorry?
First openly.
The first openly gay member. That's what I said second, and then you corrected me. The second one we have, he's the only one right now in office. So let me call ניצן הורוביץ.
Good morning. Thank you, Avner. Gal. This is my friend Gal Chovsky. He's a well-known journalist, so he'll talk after me. Okay. So welcome, everybody. I'm happy to be with you. I'm the second openly gay member of the Knesset, which is the Israeli parliament. Actually, I'm the first openly gay elected member, because the one who was before me, something like 10 years ago, he was only there for 2 months or a few weeks, so he replaced somebody. So I was, to begin with, openly gay and elected as such, and so this is a first. Let me tell you, before the election, which happened 3 years ago, many people came to me and said, well, it's going to be very difficult for you because those guys in the Knesset, they will not talk to you and they will not shake your hand and they will not get into the elevator with you, all sorts of crazy stories, because the other guy who was there for a few weeks 10 years ago, he was not really, approached by many other Knesset members, especially the ultra-Orthodox, and so people were afraid that I'm going to, to suffer personally because of that. But the truth is that personally, there is no problem whatsoever. I'm friends with everybody, including the ultra-Orthodox. There is no problem whatsoever. Actually, today, in this present Knesset, it's much more of a problem to be a leftist, a left-wing, than gay. It sounds maybe strange to you, but in the current political climate in Israel, nowadays to be tagged as smolani, left-wing, and I'm left-wing, sometimes it's even, more offensive to some people than be called gay or homosexual. I'm both. So, yeah, that's how it is. Now, so personally in Parliament, there is no problem whatsoever being gay, being openly gay. I'm respected, nobody is avoiding me. There's no problem. The problem is political. Concerning gay rights, I was told that people will avoid me. So nobody is avoiding me. Nobody. Not even the Prime Minister or nobody. I'm 100% accepted. But politically, it's almost impossible in the current parliament facing this current government to legislate on gay rights. It was always difficult in Israel because there is no separation in Israel between state and religion. I don't know, you are all from where? America?
No.
Where? Okay, all over the world. Okay, so usually, where are they from?
You have a half from Europe, I guess,
okay.
And the rest are from, we have Canada, States, Australia, Philippines.
Cool.
Pacific.
Okay.
Everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere.
So, in Israel, unlike most of your countries, there is no separation between state and religion. Religion is part of the state apparatus, okay? So, for instance, for matters of divorce or marriage, I have to go to the religious court, okay? There is no civil marriage like in your country. So, because of this mixture between religion and politics, it's very hard in Israel to pass any form of gay rights legislation. Most of our achievements during the previous years were through the court system, not through the political system, not through the Knesset, because the political system is blocked because of the ultra-religious parties, orthodox parties, which are part of the government, part of every government. So we had to go to the courts. Now, with this current government, current parliament, it's even more hard, it's even harder to pass any form of gay legislation, gay rights legislation, or GLBT legislation. This present government object each and every attempt by me or by other Knesset members to push forward. So what are we doing? We use each and every public channel in order to promote our rights. Whether demonstrations, whether the courts, whether the media, whether organizations, NGOs like IKI or others. And so we have a lot of activities. And so we put pressure on the government to promote our rights and to preserve and protect our rights, not through legislation because this is blocked, but through all sorts of administrative action. And so it works pretty good, actually, pretty well. We, through different government ministries, through different government agencies, we secure those rights, but this situation is not perfect. I mean, as you can see, gay rights in Tel Aviv or in other places like that, fine. But when you go to other sectors of Israeli society, especially the ultra-Orthodox sector or the Arab sector, the situation is completely different. And this is why we need legislation. We need a law on those issues, not just court precedents or administrative decisions. We need legislation. And with this present government, it's very hard to do. So only if there is a political change, we will be able to achieve the right legislation. Now, I think our biggest problem with the gay community in Israel is actually our success. You know, when you talk with people about gay rights, LGBT rights, they say, well, but you're gay, you're a member of parliament, so everything is okay. You know, you have this wonderful gay center in Tel Aviv, you have gay prides all over Israel, in Jerusalem, in Haifa, and Eilat even, and Tel Aviv, of course, and you have so many organizations and so many activities, and in the media, there are so many LGBT characters and positive characters. The thing is that this is only part of the picture. Now, in my job, I see the other part of the picture. And the other part of the picture is less sympathetic. There are a lot of cases of violence against LGBT people in Israel, a lot of cases, and in many cases the police ignores complaints and does not take care of this properly. We have, as I told you, a special problem, very hard problem, with the Arab sector and the ultra-religious sector, which is almost half of the population in Israel. For instance, the gay organizations representing the community, the LGBT community, cannot go to ultra-Orthodox schools or to Arab schools in Israel. So almost more than half of the school system in Israel is closed, is barred from the gay community. So we cannot reach those pupils, we cannot reach those students, those kids, and talk to them. They're completely shut off from us. So actually when we are talking about Israel, there are actually two states. Two states in Israel. One state is here, in Tel Aviv, in Haifa, secular, somehow liberal, open-minded, tolerant. The other state is also around here. Sometimes if you walk around this place, you cannot see it, but it's there. And this is another state where conservatism and non-tolerance and discrimination prevail. And this is this is a big problem. I see the letters I'm getting as a Knesset member from so many people, you know, young and old, men, women, complaining about being harassed and beaten and discriminated and fired from work, or everything. And this is so. So bear in mind where you're here that we have two, you know, two facets regarding the Israeli community and the Israeli society. Now, I'm not going to be very long. What we should do together is, first of all, you know, make ourselves visible. Make ourselves visible. It's called in Hebrew nirut, you know, because many people, they ask me, why do you insist on marching in the streets? Why do you insist to talk about your sexual orientation? Why do you insist of bringing up this issue over and over again? And I'm saying, and I tell them, we insist because there are so many people, so many millions of people in Israel, that for them, this is still a taboo. This is still something that is not to be mentioned. And as I told you, our success here in Tel Aviv, for instance, is our problem, because it creates the illusion as if the problem is over, as if there is no discrimination against gay people. And it's so far from reality, so far from reality. Even here, in this garden, here, outside of this cafe, of this center, I got some letters last week, 2 weeks ago, about some cases of violence that took place here, in this garden, here in the middle of Tel Aviv. Gay guys were beaten by some young guys, by sort of a gang that beat them. And so they went to the police, they filed a complaint, and the police didn't want to take care of it. So they called me, they called the media. Now we are going to make a lot of noise about it, and it's going to be solved. But it's going to be solved because it happens here in Tel Aviv, so we can deal with it. But if it happens in an Arab city, or in an ultra-Orthodox neighborhood of Jerusalem, or in a remote city somewhere in the south, it's much more difficult, much more difficult. So this is why we still need a very strong public action, a very strong media presence, and a very strong political effort in order to secure our rights, because they are not secured. If it's not in the law, it's just by the court. Tomorrow you can have a conservative judge, and he would say, well, I don't care that 5 years ago some other judge said this and that. I believe otherwise, so go to hell, you know? And that's what happens if you only put your faith in court. It should be in the law. And in order for this to be in law, then you need a lot of pressure on the government, a lot of pressure on the government. For instance, Gal, we were discussing outside this, what you call information efforts by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or the Prime Minister. For instance, our Prime Minister is very proud, and he is talking about it overseas, that Israel, unlike some other Muslim or Arab countries, we have good situation for LGBT people. We have gay rights, etc., etc. So he's bragging about it. He's showing off about it, and so it's fine, okay. But when he talks about it, then we should go to him and say, "You would like to show how liberal Israel is and how democratic Israel is because of the gay situation here. So please take care of it. Please, that's our demand. We can be part of this. The condition is that you would help us in securing our own rights here, and they are not secured. They are not secured. And so we would like free and accessible access to the school system. We would like the possibility to create families, to get married, everything concerning the families. And we would like state, budget, and financing for our own organizations. There is no reason why all the other organizations, social organizations, NGOs, are getting so many government funds and city funds, and gay organizations are relatively almost excluded from public funding. This is not acceptable. So we are ready to go along with the government. The condition is that the government must help us as well. It's a two-way street, okay? Not just one way. That's it. So as you can say, as you can understand, as we say in Hebrew, there are lights and shadows. There are good things and bad things. And I'm always happy to talk about the good things in Israel, but I have to talk also about the bad things. And this is the balanced approach. So I welcome you here, and we all hope to learn from your own experience in your own countries. And I wish that you enjoy your stay and have fun and help us so we can help you and work together. Thank you very much.